Hello everybody, this is Cheri from djsundry.blogspot.com, and I need a thank you card. And I wanted a card that would be really pretty, but that would also be really simple. And so I thought, well, the first thing I need to do is find which thank you sentiment I'm going to use. So I went through my stamps, and as I was going through, I ran across this kind of modernized looking thank you here. And I thought, oh, that's kind of cute. I can make that work, because I knew I wanted to use Blossom paperwork. Remember, I'm still using up the scraps from my workshops on the go that I showed you a while back. So you may be getting tired of seeing that paper, but I have to show you how versatile it is. So I thought, well, that'll make a pretty paper. So I knew I wanted to do thank you. And then I got to looking at this balloon and I thought, I wonder if that shape will fit the thank you. And it does. So then I started grabbing my supplies and went to work. So what I have here is kind of this large piece of white daisy cardstock. Now this is the second time I've stamped this, because I originally was just going to go with a pretty traditional card just like this. But I looked over on my desk, and my desk is a mess. If you could zoom out just a little bit, you would see what a mess it is. And I ran across this frame. Now this I believe is probably in Smoothie. This smoothie color. I'm really not sure. I can't even remember which project this was from. Perhaps not. I don't know. I don't know what this was from, but it was sitting on my desk and I thought, that matches the smoothie that I had already decided to use. So I'm going to use this frame. So to get started, let's get our little foam piece, and we're going to jump right in with the scrap with the piece, and I'm going to ink up my stamp. And the stamp, the ink color that I'm using to ink up this large stamp is called Whisper from Close to My Heart. Now, as usual, I have ink all over my block, so I need to get that all off, just like so. And I'm just going to kind of stamp a little bit in the middle, like so. And there is our hot air balloon. Step one is complete. Now I want to take my sentiment. Let's just close up that Whisper so it doesn't dry out. And that other piece, don't fear, it will not go to waste. I will just leave it aside for now, and at some point I'll come back and use it. I don't know when, but I've already got, ooh, nice catch. I've got something ready to go now. So I'm just going to kind of play with that thank you until it's positioned about where I want it. This is the beauty of using clear acrylic stamps, because it's so easy to position your stamps where you want them to go. So we now have our piece here. I'm just going to close up that ink, because now we're going to do just a little bit of fussy cutting. So what I want to do is I want to pull out my frame, and I'm going to pull it down as far as I dare, because I really did not get that centered as well as I hoped. And I'm going to pull out my Tombow Mono Multi Glue. We're going to start with that, and I'm just going to dab some glue on the frame. Now I've not used this for a while, and it's getting really low. I may have to, oh, there's my scotch. We'll just grab that. I did use this the other day, and it's probably all clogged. I need to invest in those bottles that they have, those newer bottles that I've seen that some of you have out there, that you can transfer your glossy accents or your crystal effects into the bottles with the little needle-like object in it, so that your glue doesn't clog. I think that's a wonderful adventure. Oh, I can't even think. Invention. I want to get my hands on that someday. You see, I don't want to use a lot of glue, because as I want to use enough that it will stay and not shift, but I don't want to get glue all over my project. So I'm just putting quite a few dots, but they're very thin dots. They don't have a lot of extra raised stuff. Now, if I was using my Cricut and doing this in advance, I would have cut a second one and just put that, just cut it before stamping it, but because I don't know off the top of my head which cartridge or anything that this frame came from, I'm doing it this way. Obviously, if I knew where it was coming from, I would have cut that one the center, because this is just the center, and I could have stamped right on that. But this will still do the job. So now I'm just going to grab my Tim Holtz scissors, and I'm just going to fussy cut all of that out. Okay, so as you can see, fussy cutting is really not my forte, but it's all done, and I think it's going to look really cute. So now let's get on to our card. Now I keep card bases cut for times like this when I'm in a bit of a hurry. So what I have here is I have a piece of white daisy cardstock that's cut at 5.5 inches wide by 8.25 inches long. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to score that at 4.25, and that is going to give us an A2 size card, just like that. It's pretty simple there. I'm just going to use my crease to crease that down so I have a nice tight fold. And there's the front of my card. So then what I'm going to do is I have my piece of Blossom cardstock all cut and ready, just like that. So we will just adhere that down. Now this is 4 inches wide by 5.5 inches long, so that there will be just about 1/4 inch. Well, there is 1/4 inch difference, so that'll give me about 1/8 inch of white space all around the card, almost creating a little bit of a frame. So there we have that. Now I want to be sure that I'm going to put this on here correctly, so I'm looking, okay, there's my fold, so that means this is going to pop up right there. Now what I'm seeing here is this, the points on this is just a tad bit taller than the 4 or the 5.5, but I think I'm going to be okay because it'll still fit in the envelope, because it's just barely like 1/16 inch, if even that, off. And so it's just going to simply be put on there. So I am going to take my ATG. I'm going to be pretty generous. Now I thought about popping this up on foam tape, but I think I just want it to be flat so that I can get it in the envelope a little bit easier, especially since I'm dealing with a little bit of extra on the side, just like that. Just like that. Okay, so now the last thing that I'm going to do is also from the Blossom cardstock, or from the kit. I have these dots. Now you can buy these separately. They're the coral reef sequins. But I think I'm going to add some sequins just to add a little pop. I don't think I want white on this. I'm going to do a little bit of a contrast with the lighter color. So now we have to decide where we want to put them. I love this little pickup stick. I just think it's kind of fun. And this is just going to fill in some of that white space in there so that it will provide a little bit of balance. To decide exactly how I want it. Now, you'll notice that I'm not putting any of these down very firmly because I'm going to play with it just a little bit to decide where I want them. I'm going to pull that one there. That one there. Pull this one down a bit. There we go. I like that. Now I'll go ahead and pat them down. So there I have my little card. It was pretty simple. The most time consuming part was, you know, doing that fussy cutting. Pretty simple. Something that I think my friend will like, and now I can get it in the mail. So thanks so much for stopping by today, and remember, take some time to enjoy the little things. Have a great day. Bye.